Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome to another review video during Dark Angels Week, where we're going to be taking a look at another section of the Codex. In this video, we're going to look at the troops. Now, to be completely honest, and Chris, I think you'll agree with me, this is a pretty lackluster section in the Army, and the reason is that you've got so many other HQs that will augment what troops you can take, or what units you can take out of other sections and put in troops. So,
I mean, in all honesty, this section of the book, it's pretty much like every other Marine book. I mean, there's a minor tweak or two that we noticed and we'll point out. But
yeah, they no longer have combat tactics, which has been replaced by Grim Resolve. So it's the opposite. You can't fail. You can't choose to fail a morale check. Unlike combat tactics, which in the normal Codex Astartes or Codex Space Marines, you can choose to fail to leave combat and whatnot. But with this one, Grim Resolve, you are stubborn and you no longer have the option to fail just by choosing. The other difference that we noticed was that you have the option to upgrade to a Veteran Sergeant. In the normal Codex Space Marines, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not an expert on that codex at the moment, but it looks like you get a standard sergeant for free in the Space Marine Codex that is essentially a veteran sergeant. The veteran sergeant just gives you an extra point in leadership and one more attack, which seems to be the upgrade that you get in this codex. So for a small number of points, you can upgrade to that if you want him to have higher leadership and one more attack. But it also gives you the option, I suppose, to save those points for something else that you want to purchase.
I could see one reason for that actually possibly is with the implication of Grim Resolve, you can't fail. So this is a way to kind of get around that and keeping your leadership at 8, making it easier to fail, I guess, if you wanted to break.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a really specific situation that you would have to be working towards, and that'd be getting downright close to list tailoring at that point, whether or not to keep your leadership low or bring it up. I think you'd have it's very situational, so I don't see that being necessarily a huge value add in this codex. But the one really great thing that they did add to these is that all of the troops choices, both of the troops choices can now take flak missiles. So you get some excellent air control now. So not only do the tactical squads get them, but in the Codex Chaos Space Marines, which is the previous release before this one, they introduced the flak missiles, but you could only take it in their heavy support choice. So the standard troops in in Dark Angels can now take flak missiles and really help pare back on some of the overwhelming air firepower that's really getting injected into the game in this edition.
Necrons.
Yeah, the Necron flying circus.
Time to break down the big top.
Yeah. So that is a big plus there for these guys. Other than that, they're really pretty much the standard troops. Same upgrades, same everything. You do have access to the war gear section, so you can upgrade your sergeant with a handful of things. The second part, did you have anything else you wanted to add on the...
I mean, aesthetically, really, you can give them robes, and that's another difference, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. But that's that actually is mostly in the veterans, the veteran squad. So I guess you could do a vet sergeant with the robes. So aesthetics, if you're trying to keep something consistent, that would make sense. One point of interest, though, there's a lot of similarities between this entry for the tactical squad in the Dark Angels Codex and the other tactical squads in just about every other codex. I'll be comparing this to the standard Space Marine Codex. They are actually a bit cheaper, so that is a plus. It looks like they've stripped away some of the standard bells and whistles from the squad, but allow you to buy them back if you want. So it really gives you a more bare bones feel that you can add on to exactly what you want instead of paying points for options that you're really not going to see used depending on how you're going to use your tactical squads. And so the second part is the Scout Squad, which once again It's carbon copy from every other Marine codex. They operate the same way that Scouts do in everything except for Black Templar, really. You don't really have anything outrageously different about them. In fact, I don't think
they don't have Grim Resolve.
They don't have Grim Resolve. They're pretty much the standard stuff here. So there's not really a whole lot to talk about. The other section of the codex that I feel goes really well with the troops is the dedicated transport section, which literally is exactly the same as every other codex. I don't think I saw anything different about it. Feel free to call me out in the comments down here. I didn't see anything different, so we won't really touch on that too much. So,
I mean, all it ever really said was you can take Dark Angel vehicle equipment, but I'm looking at the list right now, and it's the same that's in every Marine book.
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot to that story, if you will. So without further ado, we're going to call it on this segment. Thanks for watching. Check out the next segment that we're going to do, which is on heavy support. So, till next time, happy wargaming.